What's happened, everybody? Welcome to the R44 workshop. Behind me is the R44 G90 M5. It is a good looking M5. We've just stripped down all the parts that we previously installed, and we're installing more parts today. So we've got a brand new product that's gone live on our website today, and it's the SooQoo carbon kit for the M5. It's a full kit. It's front lip, side skirts, rear diffuser. It's a roof spoiler. They've also got some additional pieces like a boot spoiler. We just haven't got it yet. But anyways, as always, we try and give you a few options. So take a look now. This is what the car previously looked like, and this is what we're going to make it look like now. Let's run through the product. So we've got the full SooQoo carbon kit going on the M5 today. I'm going to run you through the installation of it and how it looks once it's installed. Let's run through some of the parts behind me and kind of like some of the USPs. So this is the front splitter. They're going to have two designs for the front splitter from SooQoo. They're going to have a more aggressive one that might have some like fins and stuff. This is a more chilled out one. So the main thing for us, we always try and make sure that you guys have a few options, whether it be wheels, brakes, suspension, carbon kits, intakes, exhaust systems. We want to try and build as many options possible for you while making sure that you're buying something that's kind of validated, something we've installed to our cars that we know fit, finish, and kind of like longevity is there. So anyways, back to the kit. Nice bit of carbon, consistent weave, no defects. You've got some adhesive tape here. It's quite thick adhesive tape. You've got some additional holes for some strength. You've got some original fixing positions. So it's going to be quite cool. They've got the SooQoo logo there. That's actually been changed now. So if it's not something for you, they've actually gone for a more gray logo that will blend in nicely with the carbon. Option A is one of these side parts and another side part. So the other side. And then option B is this side piece with one of these pieces that roll up the sides, and then one of these in the middle. So this is a nice centerpiece that kind of, if you have like a blue color car, it's going to tie that rear end in really nice, and it has a little perspex kind of window there, which is going to butt up nice to the rear reverse light. So that's quite nice. And then we've got the side skirts, which we'll show you kind of when we're installing them because they're quite big. But yeah, that's the options. You also have the likes of a roof spoiler. Kind of final piece of the puzzle that we're installing today is the roof spoiler. So it's going to go on the upper part of the rear windscreen. It's quite nice, quite aggressive. It's quite low profile, so when you install it, it doesn't kick up too much. So let's have a look. We're going to install the full kit. We've got the spoiler coming in the near future, so we'll highlight that in another video. But this is the kind of installation guide for the SooQoo kit. Big up to them. They've got this turned out quite quickly. And yeah, let us know what you think. All the links are in the description, but let's get this car up in the air. Let's get this front lip installed. All right, cool. So this is the front lip. It's super clean. The best thing to do whenever you're installing a front lip is just do a dry install. So reference it up, see kind of where the lines meet, what it looks like on the back. On the underside, have a look at what original fixings. You're going to remove the 10mm screws that are underneath. So remove those with your 10mm socket, which is on here, something similar to that. 10mm socket, remove the original fixings. You can then put one original fixing in and screw in. So now we've got that first screw in. We're going to always start on the side, one side, and we're going to move inward. So you can see how we're looking now. You've now got a little bit of space as well. Don't screw it in too much. You can use a flathead screwdriver and start to peel the tape off. You only want to peel off a small portion of the tape, something like that. A little bit like that. You'll pull all the little pieces. There's a bit inside there, and then you can start to screw this in. Now moving into the center part of the splitter, again, remove your 10mm fixings, move into the middle of the splitter. You can either start doing this now, which is like removing the adhesive tape cover. You can pull it out like so. Some of the smaller pieces, remove them all together. Put it in place, original screw, another original screw, and you're just lightly fitting it, putting it together. Lastly, again, remove your adhesive tape, get it prepared. Don't remove all of it because it will be an absolute nightmare to reinstall. You're now going to slide that piece inside there, just like that. Put your original screw in, and then what we're going to do is go up, lift the car up in the air. We're going to put all the original screws in. We'll get it into position. We'll make sure that we check the line, the kind of the way that it lines up at the back of the wheel arch. Where I'm going to start is line this up at the back here, line it up here, make sure it's nice and tight. You can then remove your adhesive tape, get it stuck into position. Go underside the part, tighten it up. Coming around the front, you can start making sure it's lined up in the middle. Again, tighten it up. Into the center, make sure it's tight in the middle, tighten it up. Again, we'll just do there. We won't tighten the middle piece here. We now want to come to this side of the side skirt. Ooh, side skirt, front splitter. Tighten it up. Now that's nice, flush there. We can start removing this part of the tape. Stick it into position, like so. Because you haven't tightened all the middle piece of the splitter, there's a nice bit of movement there. So you can make sure the fitment's perfect, which you've done there. And that is pretty much the main part. You'll then want to make sure that you can fit some self-tapping screws. So inside your box, you might have some, otherwise you buy some additionally. The self-tapping screws are used to just add some security holes to make sure it can withstand a bit of speed. So I'm gonna put a couple of security holes in now. Cool, so security screws in, that's looking amazing. The front lip fits perfectly, which is great. The SooQoo front lip has additional abilities if you want to connect it. So it's currently a 3-piece splitter. You can connect it to make it a 1-piece. So using like an M6 bolt, washer, and nut, you can thread it together. So it's entirely up to you. I recommend it. It just adds a lot more strength to the product. So now let's go to the side skirt. All right, so it's side skirt time. This is the first time you've seen the side skirts. They're quite nice. They're the first kind of full-piece side skirt I've seen. They transition from a bit of a skinnier side skirt into a bit of a thicker side skirt at the end. Something different, it looks pretty cool. So first thing first, obviously, do your test fit, then grab yourself an alcohol wipe or a panel prep spray, anything that you guys have. Make sure you clean this surface as best as possible. These BMW M5s have the softest paint, so there's lots of stone chips. So we're just gonna clear that up. And then I'd recommend getting a friend and using some masking tape. So let me show this now. All right, so it's install time. So what I've done now, I haven't got the 2 hands or 4 hands that you might have. Otherwise, if you're the same as me, you've got some masking tape, some painter's tape, and a side skirt. So what I've done now is I removed a little bit of the adhesive tape. That's giving me a little bit of sticky. I've got a good painter's tape that's holding that in but not pushing it up against it. Done the same on the front, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bottom of the side skirt, make sure it's flush with like the bottom of the side seal, which is this part, making it flush at the bottom. Do the same at the other side, make sure it's flush here. I will then pull this, I'm going to push this in and then do the whole thing, move that all the way along and then stick it in. So let me get that done now.
A few moments later.
All right, guys and girls, I've actually just changed clothes quickly because the content that we created for you guys wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. So I'm gonna run through a bit more details on the diffuser removal and installation, but cutting back to the side skirts. Most important thing with these M5 side skirts is the prep. Please, please clean the surface a couple times, heat up the surface, make sure it's nice and clean. It's really important because you are solely relying on tape. If the tape fails, there's nothing else there. There's enough tape that when it does fail in, like, let's say this area, if it gets a bit of dirt underneath it, you have the rest of the side skirt to hold it on, so you should be fine. But yeah, just make sure you clean the surface, push it on, make sure it's nice and flush at the back, nice and flush at the front, and underneath there shouldn't be any lip. So you should have a nice, even kind of, well, it should be nice and flat on the underside, and that'll line up the top really nicely. So that's the side skirt. Now let's move on to the diffuser. So on the bottom side of the rear bumper, to hold the plastic diffuser, this part in, there's a series of 10mm screws. So they're 10mm socket on the top, and they have little washers. So remove them from the car. We'll show you a little photo now of the locations of them, which we'll do now. And then it's time to remove it. So take the car up, remove the screws, bring the car back down, start with this edge. You can see it's nice and loose. We use this karate chop technique. It's not the official BMW technique, but it's a really good technique just to kind of like shock the clips to release. So just like that, you can see it's removed all the way. I know it looks really horrible, but you don't want to be yanking at it. You want to shock the whole system and it will just vibrate and kind of fall out. You come around here. Now to this back side, you can unclip this side out by where the light is. Just pull it outwards towards you. There are a series of clips on the underside, but they should all come out. The biggest problem with these M5s are the length of connection, well, cable there is on the parking sensor. So remove that. So you want to get a small screwdriver.
and just pull your plug out. So now this part of the diffuser is removed, repeat it on the opposite side, and now let's get prepared for the SooQoo diffuser. All right, so there's a few parts of the SooQoo diffuser. So before we start installing, we need to prepare all the parts for installation. This SooQoo kit is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece. So it has a central piece, has 2 sides that are big and they replace your original, and then they have 2 of these which go on the side of the diffuser to make it look a lot more wider. So first thing first, we need to install the tow hook. So you'll see here there's a gap here for the tow hook, so you would normally remove that to put your tow eye in if you're getting towed down the road or going on a track day. So what we need to do, SooQoo have done a cool design similar to like the likes of MHC where they've stuck it on. So remove the adhesive tape, stick it in position, and that is like that, and then the weaves match really well, so that's quite cool. So we do that first. That'll just prepare that. It's now time to do the parking sensors. The small screwdriver, this, just like that. Unclip it, make sure everything's intact. There should be a little rubber. On the SooQoo one, again, go clip it in, like that, and just work your way. This is never an easy job. You can see here, it needs some improvement. So just take your time. So that's your parking sensor. That's probably the hardest part of this install. It's very fiddly, and they try to get the fitment as best as possible. If you struggle with the fitment, I recommend breaking these 2 clips off, adding some glue on the back side, and that'll hold it in. So like a hot glue gun or anything like that. Sometimes it's just not worth it, and they're so fragile. It's just the way it is. Yeah, that's it. So now it's time for reinstallation. So first thing first, you want to connect your parking sensor. Yeah. So now the parking sensor is clipped in, we want to install the diffuser. You want to just get an idea where everything's going. So you can see these clips are a lot harder than the plastic ones because carbon's stronger. So first you want to push up, you get this line of clips in. Wow, so cool details there, very nice. So that's all installed. You then start to install this area. Just make sure everything's lined up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to clip this in. That's it, nice and tight. You can see this isn't flush because the whole diffuser needs to move forward, and that would answer because it's not clipped in. So give your diffuser a bit of a push. That should, oh, lovely, that's lined up nicely. And then give it a push in. You got to remember this is an aftermarket part. It's designed in carbon fiber, exactly like the M Performance one. These clip positions are extremely difficult to get in on the first go. So give them a good push and use the fittings on the underside to install them. So let's get it done. Cool. So I'm going to now install the additional parts. I've currently installed 2 sides of the diffuser. Well, actually just 1 side for this video at the moment. And you've got 2 options on our website. You've got a 2-piece diffuser and a 5-piece diffuser. At the time of watching this, we may have improved the listing to include like drop-down options, like just adding this to the 2-piece, but we'll see how that evolves. But this is a 5-piece option. So you've got a middle section which sticks on. So we're going to install that in a moment. But now I'm going to show you how to install the side piece. Again, it's adhesive tape all the way around. The most important thing is preparing the surface. So use a panel wipe, an alcohol sealer, peel off the 3M tape. Highly recommend not peeling it all off, just peeling a small amount. Going up to the car like so. Like that, looks good. You kind of have an idea. Now peel off the other side. You want to line it up flush, and you want to look inside here. You want to make sure it touches the body line. Then remove your tape, stick it in position, and then remove the bottom side. There you go. Looks something like that, which looks really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to run the 5-piece, but for this video, I'm going to run 2 pieces just because it looks super clean on this car. So let's go and install the final piece of the 5-piece diffuser. All right, so it's now time to fit the central piece. Again, as with the whole of this kit, very important to prep your surface. So clean the surface of the car, remove the 3M tape, pull that back. We don't want to, I don't mind removing these sides, so it helps. And then get inside there. Make sure it's flush. It should fit perfectly. For this video, I haven't installed this side because we're going to get some photo content of that side. But you can see now it's very important that you fit it around the rear brake light. It's that one there. Again, boom, lovely, pull it out, stick it on, nice and strong. So we're gonna do that now. Well, we're gonna do this same thing that we've just shown you on this side, and then we'll roll it out. We'll maybe get some photos, but we're gonna let Dylan decide what configuration we leave the car as for the end of this video. So it might be something similar to this, or we might go with another variation, because we just decide what we want to do, but you can decide what you want to do. So get online now, shop today for any SooQoo parts, whether you have an X3M, X4M, X5M, G90, G80, anything you want. We have a good range of SooQoo parts. Alternatively, we've got loads of other cool things for the G90 M5. So yeah, have a look what it looks like now.
So what do you guys think of the car? I think it looks pretty good. I think we've gone for like the option A diffuser, so just the middle pieces, not the sides. I think it comes out really, really nice. Front lip, subtle yet effective. It's not as aggressive as the MHC front splitter that we've been running previously. For me, MHC splitter is just more aggressive, makes the car look meaty, but I think this is really good for daily driving. Come down the side, skirts look really clean as well. So yeah, so far really happy, and as always, really happy with the fit and finish of the parts. So big shout out to the guys at SooQoo. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you want any G90 M5 parts, make sure you check out the website and check out all the links below and get shopping today. Guys and girls, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button, and check out what's next for our G90 M5.